grew up in northern New Jersey in a town called Wyckoff. I'm the youngest of 4 kids. My dad was one of those parents that worked a lot, but was always at all our sporting events. Was pretty tough on us, usually tougher than the coaches were. He was a great mentor. He's still with us and taught me to look at the positive things in life. My dad was diagnosed with prostate cancer. At the time, the robotic surgery was probably the most cutting edge, and he did need surgery. And I remember a week after his surgery, we were going out to lunch, and I said, why don't you, he's like, I'm not dead, I just have some stitches. But that's him. I mean, he powers through it. So I've had a chronic kidney stone issue for 30 years, and it is extremely painful. And I was actually down during COVID visiting my dad, and I thought I might have passed the stone. So I went to his urologist, and the first thing they do is check your prostate to make sure there's no infection. The urologist said he felt a little bit of a nodule, but could just be from the kidney stone, could be a minor infection, and to go on Cipro for a month, then go see your urologist to have him recheck, which I did, and it was still there. From that point, he said, let's do an ultrasound. So I will always remember my urologist coming through the door, and I could just see on his face that he wasn't going to give me good news, but he said, you do have prostate cancer, but what you have is very curable, and there are a number of different things you can do, and you don't need to panic, because I'm not panicked at all. When I got my diagnosis from my urologist, I said, I appreciate it, but I'm going to get a second opinion, which he was more than supportive of. And I did see a surgeon, listened to everything that he said, but surgery was not the right option for me. So I decided on Meridian Smart. It was an easy decision for me because the moment you walk in there till you leave, you feel very comfortable there. Dr. Nagar, he was super knowledgeable in how he talked to me about what the prognosis is and what they could do and what they can't do and how advanced the treatments were, and especially the V-Ray. And I just left there thinking, like, this is what I want to do. So the treatments, when I did them, I made the joke every time I would come out of the machine that, did you guys really do anything? But I felt perfectly fine before and after. In fact, I fell asleep a couple times in the machine, and they said I was one of the only people that ever slept during the process. I felt fine. I was tired, and it wasn't like I couldn't get out of bed. It was more just I was a little more tired than I normally was, and I took a couple naps here and there, which got me through it, and that lasted for maybe 2-3 months. During my treatments, on the third one after I finished, I went to work. I worked for about 3 hours, and then I met a couple customers for lunch, and then we played golf. Other than being tired probably from all the swinging, I had no issues. I just had my 1 year yesterday. Everything's going great. After I was officially diagnosed, I said that I'm not going to tell the kids because I don't want them to worry. After the final treatment, I drove up to a lake house, and that night I told my oldest, who started to cry, and I said, you didn't even know I was doing any of this, so how bad is it? Her boyfriend of 7 years thanked me for not telling her because she had a lot of questions. I told my son. He kind of said, I had an idea. I was in your office at home and I saw some papers, and I said, stop snooping in my office. And then I told my youngest, and she got a little teary and said, are you going to be okay? And I said, yeah. When I tell you to worry, then you have to worry, and you don't have to worry. So she was good with it. So I think each person themselves has to decide, what's best for them, but talk to your doctors, not your friends. I talked to a few of my friends that had it, and if I had followed one of my friends' advices, I would have gotten surgery. If I followed another one's, it was, don't do anything, because he had a different form of radiation that did not go well. So there were lots of different outcomes, but I listened to the medical experts after I did my own research, and Meridian Smart was definitely the right choice for me. It's what I felt most comfortable with, but a big part of it was really Dr. Nagar and his entire staff. The procedure, the treatments they do were just best for me.